You're watching The Catican, starring my boyfriend, Raph! Yay!
I don't even know why I'm still here.
What do you mean?
I came on this show so Mark Pope would notice me, but I don't even know if he watches. And if he's not watching, what's the point?
You're kidding, right? What about us?
The vibe's off. I'm not feeling it. And now Lowe's shoulder is good and we lost to Georgetown. I gotta go.
Wait.
Whoa! Look, Mommy! It's a Louisville shirt! Look, Mommy, it's garbage! Can we keep it anyways?
No, honey.
Aww.
You're watching The Catican, starring my boyfriend, Raph. Yay!
Do you want to hold him?
Sure.
Yeah, he's ready.
Okay.
Louisville.
Oh my god.
Did he just... Yeah.
Fire up the mics. The Catican brings Kentucky sports talk to your NES. Switch on your camera, battle the comments section, and put Loudmouth Ben in his place. This podcast is chaos. The Catican.
You're watching The Catican, starring my boyfriend, Raph! Yay!
It's the Catican, baby.
It's the Catican. Rumors of our offensive woes were greatly exaggerated. Kentucky wins 107-59. Ben, how we feeling?
Great. Nice, comfortable, relaxing win. Even distribution scoring, even distribution rebounds, even distribution assists. It's just nice to beat a team by as many points as you thought you would.
Now, when I say we, I mean the collective fan base, the people of the Catican. I wouldn't say this, but we, as Big Blue Nation, needed this just to calm down some of the negativity surrounding it. Just based on our comment section alone, and just what I've been reading online, is people were very concerned about the offense of a Mark Pope coach team, which is very strange. But what are you going to do? Fan base going to fan base, but. I'm sure you saw it too. As soon as Jaylen Low enters the game, it was, oh, there it is. There's the offense. And it just clicked into high gear. Not even that they were playing bad before he got in there. But as soon as he enters the game, it's like, oh, okay, that's what this team's supposed to look like.
Right. His ability to drive, he's fast, he's shifty, he's really effective at driving in and also pulling the defense in, and then he can dish out really well. And even Aberdeen kind of has that skill set too, to some extent, maybe not quite as fast. But I think this is what I've said the last 3 times we've been on. Not only just their skill sets fitting what we need to do better, but also that's how the team is practiced all summer long, with those 2 guys in point guard type roles running the offense. And that's the way that it is more natural. That's the way that everyone is more comfortable with it. Yes, sometimes we'll have Diabate bringing the ball up, or Chandler or Jasper or anyone. But really, when it's those 2, it's different.
I gotta give a shout out to our boy BG, having the game of his life. Is this an all-time great BG performance or what? What a performance from our boy.
4 for 4 from the field, 4 for 4 from the line, 4 boards, 4 assists, and 4 fouls.
Love
Perfect. What else can you ask for?
Jason says, the confidence this game gave the boys makes me feel much better about the U of L game. I do think that will go a long way. And I don't think that the guys on the team needed the confidence, because when you get to this level of basketball, I don't think that confidence is the issue for a large amount of them. But for the fan base, I feel too, in order to get up for that game, maybe we don't need to get up for Louisville. I don't know. But it'll be nice for me not to have to read a bunch of negative Nancy's.
Right. It'll make the several days between now and then more tolerable for sure. And really, almost everybody had a pretty good game. I mean, it was super balanced, but it was also effective. I mean, we were above 40% from three until that final garbage time Walker Horn attempt. Even if it was a little ugly the second half, but started out great when the game mattered more and we were operating more of a game flow offense. We were lighting it up, especially Colin Chandler. Awesome game from him. But
yes,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in double figures. Then Jasper with 9, Jelly with 7, and Lowe with 6. I'll take it.
Even distribution, baby. You gotta love it, especially in November basketball. Of course, there were some droughts and some offensive lows, but look, any college basketball team in the month of November is going to have that, and the temptation is there to be like, keep your foot on the gas. But I'd rather our guys not get injured in a game that's already put away in the early season. That'd be great,
right?
Because you can't have it both ways, right? Like you could want them to keep their foot on the gas, but then the same people who would say that could also say like, hey, why are we playing the blue-white game and you get Jaylen Low injured in something meaningless?
Yeah. Oh, and I actually heard that. I heard our fans say, why do we even bother? This game doesn't matter. Or like, why are we going to play exhibitions? And it's like, you just can't make all of your decisions over fear of injuries. Like if that's the case, why play anyone ever all season long?
That's a good argument. I can hear that.
It's just save them all till the tournament. All we have to do is make the tournament, which means all we have to do is win the SEC tournament. Let's just save them all until then.
Great night. 54% from the field, 39 from 3, 85 from the line, that's very
huge improvement. Let's see who missed them. Diabate missed 1, but was 3 for 4. I'll take it. Jelly missed 1, was 2 for 3. That's fine. Moreno missed 2 and was 2 for 4, but I'm not going to bitch too much on an 18 and 10 day with 3 boards or with 3 assists and no turnovers. I'll take it.
Speaking of bitching, did you want to talk any more on Otega Owe taking his mid-range jumpers or the mid-range?
Yeah, he took a couple. He made a couple. I haven't been on Torvik yet to see how many of these he considers decent long twos, and I haven't looked at his percentage. But come Louisville game, I'll have that pulled up.
We got a new guy in the chat. Someone named Caleb says the Jasper Johnson Malachi Moreno connection, very fun. They do seem to have a natural chemistry to them.
That's true. I think that they both looked decent today. Jasper 3 for 4 from 3, 5 assists. He led the team in turnovers with 3. We only had 6. One of them was that Aberdeen charge, which is fine. Then Owe had 2 and Jasper had 3. Not awful. And that's I was going to pull up Torvik. Caleb also says Ken Palm updated already. We are up to we're number 2 in Ken Palm now. We've jumped Florida. Number 3 defense, which is great.
I believe I saw that. It's tough to go on a podcast and then have to talk about the greater college basketball landscape, because when Kentucky's on, I really only care about Kentucky basketball. But I think I did read that Kansas was losing.
Yeah, they were down to North Carolina. Purdue was, I'm sure they've pulled away at this point, but in a perilously close game with Oakland. Not sure how anyone could struggle with a team like that, but
couldn't be me.
How embarrassing for them, huh?
Yes, North Carolina beat Kansas 87-74.
Nice.
Which is just fun to see. And yeah, Purdue pulled away 87-77.
That's still closer than they'd like, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's not a nearly 50-point drubbing. Although I'm not sure if Oakland is better than Valpo. It's very early in the season to be able to know those things. You even got to take your Torviks and your Ken Palms with a grain of salt.
Ken Palm thinks they are. Ken Palm thinks they're around 200 versus like 280 for Valpo. But
it feels like
I honestly, I mean, the
200s to the 280s, right?
Yeah, right. Well, Valpo definitely struggled with us and really started slow. Our defense was bothering them, but I didn't think they looked terrible. I mean, I thought that some of their guys could shoot. Some of them were more physical. As the commentators said over and over again, they have shocking size for a team in their conference. Really, we increased the degree of difficulty on ourselves a little bit when we let Pettigrew foul out. He was 1 for 11 at that point. So I think they may have gotten a little better, a little more efficient with him out. But that Cheney guy can play.
Oh yeah, he's great. Mr. Zenigami seems to be doubling down to your point. I think the best part is, yes, it was a blowout, but Valpo still played pretty physical for 40 minutes, which only helps UK prepare. Totally agree. Also, I feel like this didn't have to be as much of a blowout if Valpo didn't come out and say, like, yeah, we're going to try to run with Kentucky, which is, why in the world would you try to do that?
Yeah, right. Why would you keep trying to do that after it started so terribly? I mean, just immediately. 2 minutes in, and we're on pace to score 120. I mean, just. But I think probably good for this team. It's not like it was competitive, but they didn't. They got a little sloppier, but they didn't really ever totally let up off the gas. Probably good from a conditioning standpoint and a physicality standpoint. I know maybe halfway through the second half, people are saying, "Oh man, Malachi looks gassed." And he kind of fell at one point under the basket, was a little slow to get back, but then did come running. But again, how gassed can you be if you end up with 18 and 10?
Yeah, pretty good night. Yeah.
I mean, if that's him looking gassed, I'll take it.
Another team that's probably going to try to run with them, Louisville Cardinals. That'll be fun.
I still can't believe that game is on Tuesday. I think it feels so wrong to not be kind of a holiday weekend type game.
Not to get all Andy Rooney and say back in my day, but it used to be like New Year's Eve,
right?
Was the Louisville game, and that's fun because it gives you something to do that day. You just, I don't know. I like traditions, and to have it on Veterans Day, like I'm already, I'm thanking the troops for their service or whatever, and now I got to be split brain on it. I don't know. I'm trying to reach for a joke that's probably not there, but I don't know.
I think that it's frustrating for us this year because we really want to see JQ back and in that game, and it feels like we're kind of getting. And maybe he wouldn't be back by New Year's or whenever. I don't know his timeline for recovery, but it feels anyway like it's so early. He's guaranteed not to be back, and we're kind of getting robbed of that. But at the same time, last year it was so late, even still just in December, but so late we missed out on a prime Kirk Risa, Keyshawn Pryor matchup, which I think would have just been excellent shit talking. Both sides, I mean, they both really like getting into it, and I think we were deprived of that because they were both out for the season by that point. So
that is the perfect segue to the Keyshawn Pryor conversation. What is he doing? Why are you poking the bear?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Louisville's good. It's not one of those like Vandy, we want Bama 59-0 Bama games. I mean, it's not like they're a terrible team that has no room to shit talk. But at the same time, I always hate when anyone on my team gives locker board material to someone else.
Yeah, or because they're going to use that. I mean, even last year when it was the little guy on Tennessee, I'm blanking on his name. Starts with the guy Ziegler, giving the finger to the Kentucky logo. The team was aware of that, and that everyone heard him say that, which is, I don't know. It's not like we were going to be sleepwalking through the Louisville game anyway, but I'm sure they'll take the extra motivation. I do love it though. Like it didn't make me mad. It got me excited. Like I miss caring about this rivalry. Right. So I do appreciate Keyshawn Pryor.
I find myself in a tough spot because I do want Louisville to lose every game. I'm not
Yeah.
rooting for them practically ever. But I also do think that basketball is more fun when our rivalry matters. And I take pride in the rivalry. Like I'll tell UNC and Duke fans this is the rivalry in college basketball because we only play once a year. You get bragging rights for the whole year just based on one. And in order for the rivalry to matter, they need to be better. So if I need a world where they can be good and recognized as good while losing every game.
Are you feeling a bit more nervous about it this year?
More than the past 15, sure.
I hear that. Yeah.
I mean, I think PK is a good coach. I think that the team he built is interesting. I don't think they've played anybody yet, but they've looked good.
They played Kansas, didn't they?
Did they?
I thought didn't they play them in the exhibition?
In an exhibition, sure.
Yeah.
But as we know, you can't take anything away from exhibitions.
Absolutely not.
Like our Georgetown exhibition.
Unless you be the number one team, and then you can take whatever you want.
Right.
From that.
But so, I mean, I am curious to see how they do because I think the ACC will be better and the SEC will be worse, but I still think there's kind of a rift between those two conferences. And so I don't know that when you're looking at the end of the year at our conference records that you can necessarily use that as a comparison. I think that the committee got it right last year with seeding as much as they didn't like it. So I don't know. It's I am kind of bummed that last year we really benefited quite a bit as a conference from just not dropping non-con games. And I don't think we're going to go quite as unscathed as a conference this year.
Jeremy makes an interesting point here. Brandon Garrison and Pryor is going to be fireworks. That does sound a lot of fun because last year against Oklahoma, Brandon Garrison really showed up, especially for the at Oklahoma game. Him just being a former Oklahoma State Cowboy, and you could tell he was really into that one. So I want to see, the new BG in a rivalry game. Sounds like it could be a lot of fun. Also, when you bring in back Colin Chandler, and you have Trent Noah, Jasper Johnson, Malachi Moreno. All those guys know exactly what this game means to this state. So they've all been hearing it. They all know what's up with that one. So I don't know. I miss it being chippy, and feeling like there could be a fight at any moment. And I feel like we're getting back to that. So that'll be a lot of fun. Minty Hunter says it'll be interesting to see how they figure out the situation with the centers. They should all play. I'm sorry, you're going to make another point? We can.
I was just going to say, not only will BG and Pryor be interesting, but do we know whether Mark Pope and Pat Kelsey have seen each other since the incident at TK's house? I mean, there may still be ongoing beef here.
No love lost.
Will they shake hands? People are asking.
I just want Pope to toss him on the head a little bit and say, good luck out there, champ.
Will Pope bend over all the way down there to shake hands?
I want Pope to do that thing. When you're a kid and there's like a taller one next to a shorter one, and a kid would put his hand on his head and just put it over, just to show you how much taller I am. I want to break that one out as an adult.
Do like a really clunky, scratch your head, make it look natural, and then go down for the handshake. Yeah. It was some leadership luncheon, I think, in Louisville last year, this picture of them shaking hands right after they were both hired. Yep. And Pope is bent at the waist and leaning forward. And it's just shocking, the size difference in these two people.
Yeah, whenever there's a picture of them together, it looks like Pope won him in a contest. So yeah, Mizzy Hunter will be interesting to see how they figure out the situation with centers. They all should play. I think they all will. We just with the foul situation, and hey, if Malachi looked gassed, keep him fresh, and with how they've handled Jaylen Low and with how it looks like they're handling Trent Noah, I would imagine they're going to have JQ on some sort of like a pitch count or a minutes restriction. So you slowly bring them on, and then by that time you're looking at SEC play, and that's a crapshoot with fouls.
Right. I do think this year, to some extent, fouls will dictate a lot of our playing time, and maybe who's on a given night as well. But I know I started the pod saying this is great: balance points, balance rebounds, balance assists, but also balance minutes. Most minutes played by anybody was Colin Chandler at 23. Fewest minutes played by anybody other than the two walk-ons was Cam at 15. Other than that, Low at 18 of the and BG at 18, but BG had foul trouble. So almost everybody was between 18 and 23 minutes. I mean, that's almost platoon level even distribution.
And the
platoon, I like that it seems
work.
I like that it seems more thoughtful than the platoon.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that the platoon ever seemed matchup based or what's working, or I mean it honestly, I've said this before. I feel like one reason Cal last year at Arkansas said we only want 8 guys is because it simplifies his in-game lineup decisions. And I honestly think he did that with the platoon too. I think when you have a platoon and you've got all these great players, if you just throw them out in 2 groups that make sense and do a hockey line change every time and you never have to think about it and you just every TV timeout you sub 5 for 5, then that takes something off your plate. And they were talented enough that it worked for 38 games.
But then I don't want to relitigate, that season. But when you have you're not riding the hot hand at that point either. If
right.
You're taking a guy out, because I don't know. I got my issues with the platoon, but as long as we don't advertise that it's a platoon system, I feel like we're okay. Because I feel like that's where we got in trouble.
I think that's ideal. I think that is great when you can. I mean, and really, realistically, the only way you can keep this many guys happy when almost everybody plays a full half the game, but you do it thoughtfully in ways that have lineups that work and matchups that work, and you're not leaving anybody out there on an island just to get them minutes. Like I think that's what you got to do with this team.
Yep,
keeps everybody fresh.
That is what more or less is done in the NBA as well. There's always a stretch in the second or third quarter, and even like the top of the fourth, where you have your twos out there. So it's not it's not a new concept. It just it doesn't have to be marketed like Cal used to like to do. As we don't have reinforcements.
I had a 6-pack of blue-white Kentucky bourbon barrel ale. I think there was berry flavor in the blue. I don't remember it wasn't bourbon barrel ale. One was a
berry and bourbon. I'm getting all mixed up now. Is it in the mail?
But it was. But it was. I mean, they had marketed. Kentucky Ale had marketed this blue and white beer, blue platoon and white platoon. Like it was such a thing.
Yeah.
So I'm also happy not making that a formal.
Yeah. Mitzi Hunter says Mo D and Aberdeen gonna dog Louisville. Those are the guys you want in a rivalry game, especially Mo. Mo is so consistent, man. He might go the whole season without having a bad game. I think you know exactly what he's gonna give you.
Yeah, well, and his free throws were fine today. He made 33% of his threes, 5 for 8 from the field. 5 boards. He does tend. I worry about him picking up fouls sometimes. I think he is very physical and also subject to like the "I'm bigger than you and you hit me and fell over, so it's a foul on me" situation. But at the same time, he gets a pretty good whistle. I mean, he gets, even last year before they changed the continuation rules, I felt like he got continuation pretty often. And gets a better whistle that I think sometimes those bigger, stronger guys don't get.
He even had plays tonight where I don't know if Mo's really the kind of guy you just want to throw it to in the post and just say, like, go get a bucket, big fella. But he seems to have a pretty good feel of when he's about to get fouled, because he can draw it, because he kept doing it multiple times tonight, where it's just like, I don't like this. I don't want to ISO Mo. I'm not very interested in that. But sure enough, he gets to the stripe. So hey, he knows more than me. So good on him. He reminds me. I don't think this is too far off. Like a poor man's Julius Randle.
No, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I wish that the college basketball scouting YouTube channel was still up, because as much as I hated that song that I've heard 1,000 times watching tape on all these guys, his tape was excellent. I mean, like the first like 5 plays were all and ones where it didn't look like he should have scored, or it's amazing they called continuation, given what the rules were last year. But he's great. He's good to have on your team. He's a winner. I know we talk a lot about Aberdeen kind of having championship experience after last year, but Mo has Elite 8 and Final Four experience, and that's significant too.
Him and Aberdeen. That's such a good comment there, because both of those guys, they play so fearless that I can't see a situation where the lights are too bright for either of those guys. Just the way that they carry themselves on the court, and they feel like guys who, and they're like, I'm not going to let this team lose. Now they still might, but it's not going to be because of those two.
Right. Well, and the other good thing is that they're both older guys. They're in leadership positions, and some of that's going to rub off. I mean, they play hard, and I think that makes other people play hard. Both those guys hustle a ton.
Mr. Zenigami says, "Well, Pat the Squeak wear shoe lifts for the midcourt handshake." I say, just go for it and wear heels, man.
I think he might jump.
Yeah.
He's too prideful to wear lifts, but he will jump and try to get a hand up.
Should he wear the DeSantis cowboy boots shoe lifts?
Yes, exactly. Cowboy boots on the basketball court. Excellent.
That'd be a way to get me to like him, though. If the coach just did something weird like that.
I think that's a good look. I think that's a really good look.
Just keep scuffing the hardwood.
Just constant bench warnings. Sir, sit down.
Have Spurs on too. That'd be
Sir, you'll be taller if you just sit down.
Do we want to get into the Kalzada situation?
It doesn't. I feel like I said this earlier. I feel like I tend to be more uptight about things, about our reputation, about bad actions taken by players that other people kind of, shrug their shoulders at. I feel like some of that stuff tends to bother me, and this doesn't really bother me more than KD tweeting at people on a burner, or it's if you're gonna have people. Yeah. I also have very little patience for people that go online and like shit talk our players,
right?
And people do it all the time. Like they tag them, like you're a bum, or you suck, or you blew my parlay, and that's ridiculous. Like, and my preference for a player is A, don't spend time online, don't read it, and B, if you do read it, don't respond. So he definitely did read it and did respond, but at the same time, it doesn't bother me. I mean, if you're going to bitch at someone online, don't then get upset when they bitch back. I mean, it made me laugh. I can see the outrage if this was years ago, when having money like that is kind of indicative of an NCAA violation.
Right.
But in the NIL era, I mean, you may not like that he's being cocky, having played 2 games, not very well, thrown not very many touchdowns, if any. Did he throw any? I don't think he did any. I mean, like you could say it's a bad look to be cocky when you've had the season he's had, but at the same time, we wanted him. Our staff identified him as a talent they wanted to add to this team, and they decided this is the amount of money you're worth. And if anything, it's great. Look, we paid our guys even though he's not playing. You know, to all you potential future Kentucky football players out there, we'll pay you even if you don't pan out the way we think you will.
I have a slightly different outlook on it. I did not like the way Kalzada handled it, because I didn't like that he apologized. I think you just own it. You're not playing this year. Who cares? Like, just to own it and be like, yeah, Garrett, I'm making bread.
But I mean, that was my least favorite part too. I assume he was made to do that.
Sure, but you're not playing.
But
you're not going to put him in.
What are you going to do? Take it back?
Yeah. So also, like, I don't know if he has any more eligibility left, but especially if you're out of eligibility, if you're out of eligibility and they're not going to put you back in, just own it, dude. Like, who cares? He should have done it again. Like, I apologize. Look at this, Mark.
I was surprised at the outrage from like our own fan base about it.
Yeah, just the thing. He's a kid, man. What? He's like 25.
Yeah, I think he is 25. But like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, I feel like 25 is kind of like when adulthood starts anyway.
Sure.
For a lot of people, especially if you're still like living on a college campus.
Oh,
I mean, your maturity is going to be anchored around other college-aged kids. It's not like I don't know. I hate the idea
quarterback at colleges. Like, he hasn't like actually experienced like the real world in any sort of scenario at all, and then he was then he was made a millionaire. Like, he is not in touch with.
And in the grand scheme of issues, bad behavior that college athletes have, I am so much less concerned about a money spread and repeating. Yeah. Don't lose count, Garrett. Don't lose count, Garrett.
Player.
Right. Right. Then the reckless driving. Then I mean, there are so many real significant issues that athletes can find themselves in, and if the biggest complaint about you is that you aren't good enough, in my opinion, to be cocky and telling this man he's poor, then I mean, that's just such a.
Perhaps there's people who are watching
my preference
that don't know.
Is my preference for him not to have done this? Sure, but it did make me laugh, and I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Perhaps he should have prefaced it before what the actual story is, which is somebody said something to former Kentucky starting quarterback Zach Kalzada, and then he made a whole video of him holding a stack of cash and then telling whoever it was, I would assume Garrett was his name, telling Garrett to get his money up. And do I want that guy playing starting quarterback for the University of Kentucky? No, but he has an open seat on the Catican whenever he wants.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the kind of guy we need on this show.
Future friend of the pod, Zach Kalzada.
Absolutely. The second the season's over. And he's like, oh, boo-hoo, like, our quarterback's too cool and rich. And like, what are we complaining about right now?
Also, future friend of the pod, Zach Kalzada's stack of cash.
Yeah.
Probably not future friend of the pod, Garrett. TBD on that one.
No, Garrett's an op now on Team Zach. Yeah. Do we want to? Oh, we got Browncoat fan in here, friend of the show. I'm not mad at him. I'm mad they chose him and paid him what they paid, and that was my feeling before we saw him play for UK. Totally agree. Was never in on the Zach Kalzada signing.
I think that's totally fair. I watched him torch Alabama not too many years ago, and that really ruined my day. So I thought maybe he's got the juice, and obviously he didn't still have that same juice that I remembered. But I agree with you. I mean, that's a totally valid opinion. If you're unhappy with Zach Kalzada specifically because of what we paid him, sure, valid. But that's a separate issue from being mad when he claps back at people who call him a bum and I'm just not going to have sympathy for people who are online calling players of teams that they claim to support bums.
People defended the Will Levis mayonnaise antics, and I feel like that's way worse than the Zach money flexing. I defended both, but I think the only difference is that Will Levis was good.
Well, even somebody today said if this was Lynn Bowden, I wouldn't have cared. And it's like, well, that's very hypocritical then. Like,
Captain Crash says, just got here. What did I miss? Kentucky's a wagon where we might not lose a game all season.
We did beat Valparaiso.
We did. We're about to whoop on Louisville, and Zach Kalzada has an open invitation to be a permanent host on the show.
Thought you were going to say, and Zach Kalzada has more money than Garrett, but
yeah,
but yes, also host on the show.
Jason says, I cringed every time J Lo fell. Dude plays hard and fearless. Kind of a trend for, I would say, a lot of the guys on the team is they play hard and fearless. But yeah, obviously he hit the deck a few times, but seemed to be all right. So I guess that's encouraging.
There was a game last year where Jeremiah Fears, one of the Oklahoma games, I forget if it was aggravated Butler's injury, like knocked him to the ground and he landed on his shoulder, or aggravated Jackson's injury. But one of the two. And at some point today, Lowe fell and kind of rolled, and I just had visions in my head, war flashbacks of injured player good enough to play, just aggravating their injury. And I don't think it ended up too bad. Certainly got fewer minutes than everybody else, but barely.
He also said, I wonder if that shoulder brace affects his shot. I can't imagine it helps.
Right.
I guess we'll see.
And he was 2 for 7 today, 0 for 2 from 3. So not his strongest shooting night.
Also his first time playing
right
a basketball game. I'm sure there's some nerves, or maybe even a feeling of like, I really got to prove myself tonight.
Right. And probably not 100%. And with the brace on, still dished out 5 assists, no turnovers in 18 minutes. I'll take it.
He had some passes tonight. I think he caught Chandler in the corner. Maybe caught Chandler in the corner twice, but I know it was later in the game. I think it was like maybe 5 minutes left or so, where it looked like he was going to the basket. And I thought that he brought the ball down, but he just whipped it around for a corner 3. And I audibly said, wow, because I do still, I could watch it back. I don't know how he got that pass off. It was sick.
I said wow on his first drive, and there was another drive where sort of everybody cleared out and he just had a straight path around his man for a nice, pretty layup. And it's like, it just looks so easy sometimes.
Having him is so important, because when you have somebody who can just sort of get to spots on the court, and just, it seems like he can just get to the basket when he wants, and it collapses the defense like that even though this isn't maybe on paper a better shooting team than what we had last year, we could theoretically get way more open shots than what we were able to get last year. So that may balance itself out.
I think that going 11 for 28 from 3 is kind of, that's the story that's telling. We did get more shots off. And even though second half was kind of ugly, what were we second half? We were 4 of 15, 26%, but 11 for 28 for 40% for the game. That's all right. And that's closing in on that 30 per game number.
Yep.
And it's just because we're getting more rebounds. We are able, which let us play in transition more. Some of those were pull up in transition a la Jackson last year. Some were somebody streaking to the corner while somebody else drives, wide open corner 3. I mean, we really we had so many more opportunities, and we had a bunch that we didn't take too.
Yep.
And Aberdeen was fouled on one, which makes it 29. Like it's great.
Yeah. Says still a couple times he drives and seemed like he got lost in the trees. It's his first game, and also I wouldn't even get hung up on the fact that it looked like that against Valpo, because Valpo has legit like power conference size on their team. Like they're a very tall team, so it's his first time getting back. Maybe he's playing a little bit more gingerly than he did. I don't think that's going to be a trend through the season. I think this team's only going to get better. I don't think that they've capped out or even come close to what they're going to look like come March. We don't even have our best player yet, and we really haven't seen Otega take over. And I wanted to actually get into this. For the Louisville game, most years we have a random player decide to be the card killer that year and just pop off out of nowhere. For instance, last year we had Lamont Butler come back from injury and then just go nuclear from three. In previous years, we had the Tyler Ulis bloody eye game. We had Jorts taking over. We had the Nick Richards game. This year, give me Cam Williams. Cam Williams finally puts it all together against Louisville.
That would be awesome. I did feel bad that he struggled again. He did have 4 boards and a block and no turnovers, so that was good. But my criticism has sort of been that he will accumulate a lot of minutes and not a lot of other stats. So blocks rebounds kind of helps, but still 0 points, 17 minutes, not great. But at the same time, everybody else scored.
Yep.
15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 9, 7, 6, 18. Like that's a lot of scoring. We had 107 points. Do we need him to score if that's...
No, and I think that's all upside when he does start scoring. And he's
not
still
a defensive
providing
liability. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Because he closes out on shots so well. And he does have the length and athleticism to where even if he's not scoring, he can still have a positive contribution to the game. Captain Crash also says he'll find his shot soon enough. I agree. I think it's
agree. I mean, there's just no way that you should. I mean, I know there are practice heroes all the time, but he shot well last year. It's not like he's only ever shown his ability to shoot in a practice gym.
I do like Cam. I think we get the breakout from him there. I do like that it doesn't seem like he's really forcing anything right now, because we've seen that with other players where they can't seem to get it going, so they try to shoot themselves out of it. It looks like he's still remaining patient, and I'm sure that's the coaching staff preaching that to him, and just letting it come to him, which I think is good and something you shouldn't take for granted with a young player.
Agree, totally. And I mean, it's tough watching the game, because when you know someone's in their head like he probably is, you see him shoot and you say, oh no, that's probably not going to go in. But you really want him to make one just to help start. And they weren't bad looks. At least 2 of them weren't bad misses. One of them, I think, was real heavy off the back of the rim. But like, he does look scared to shoot it. Maybe less so today than the other night. So I think it is. I think it is in his head, but I think he'll figure it out. I mean, that's what we expect for you to do when you're on the court. We want you to take shots. It's Pope's whole thing. Keep shooting, right? Like, we put you there because we think you're capable of making these shots, and they'll go in. Jackson had slumps. Kobe Bryant had slumps. Colin Chandler had November through February of slumps.
Browncoat fan, I believe he'll be tearing it up once he gets a couple of fall. That is true. Because he does. I mean, we saw the numbers at Tulane last year. Like, he was a dead eye. So maybe, don't let him get hot.
No, I agree. Totally
Yep.
agree.
All right, buddy. Anything else you want to close out with for Louisville? Do you have
Nothing for
want to
me.
make a prediction for player of the game or anything like that?
I'll say Malachi Moreno. I think that he looked like he really had things cooking pretty well. I think that he may have an opportunity to feast on some front court that's still figuring it out for Louisville. I think Khalifa's kind of struggled defensively. Frew may still be figuring out the game here. So I'll go Moreno. We'll see that. I mean, when you're coming off a game where the points distribution was so even, it's difficult to pick one guy. Like, yeah, this guy's on fire.
Yeah. All right.
What about you?
I'll pick Cam. I pick Cam, baby.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for joining the Catican. For Ben, I'm Jared. And go Cats.
Go Cats.